Good morning, everybody. This is Lainey with Camp Joy Farms. I'm out here early this morning. The fog is on the lake. I can just tell it's going to be a beautiful day. They're saying we might have a few little spotty showers, but it's probably going to be more mist than hit. It's just so pretty today, and today is officially planting day. Now, I've been working little by little to plant some things. And yesterday I completed my tomato planting. 105 tomato plants are now in my gardens, between the 3 gardens. So I got that done. But this garden here, this lower garden, is going to get a lot of seeds planted in it today. A lot. All that's in it right now is some tomatoes and a few Cherokee wax beans. The rest is not planted. My upper garden is pretty full, and a lot of things are coming up because I have been working on a few things. But today is the day I really hit this lower garden, and then I go across the beach to Richard's garden and plant a lot of things in that. What a beautiful sunrise fixing to happen right here above these trees. I have been so excited to do this and have been so interrupted this week with other things, and it's just been very stressful to know that today is Thursday and I'm just now getting out here to really work. I've been waiting for it all week. I've had some car trouble, and twice this week I've had to go to Baton Rouge to take my car, and that has delayed me because I've had to go in the middle of the day to do that. We had a business meeting Monday evening somewhere. I had to go do that. And then that weather came through Tuesday that just made everybody stay inside. So today, being Thursday, is the first full day that I've had to come out here and just be and enjoy my garden. And so I'm going to relish in it. I'm going to be planting cucumbers, bush beans. I might hold up on the okra because it's still a little chilly out here this morning, and I don't think the okra is going to do anything anyway until it warms up. I'm going to be planting squash, cocozelle squash, zucchini, gray zucchini squash. Oh my goodness, I'm going to be planting all kind of things. I'm going to be planting my corn right here in this garden and in Richard's garden. I'm going to be planting my corn, and I'm so excited about that. So let's get started. Walk with me today. I'll show you a few things that I'm working on, and I'm going to show you a few things that I've actually changed my mind on. And a girl can do that. A girl can change her mind on some things. Some things are just not working out. They're just not. And I'll tell you about that in a little while. I've decided to just pivot. I believe in that. I've said it before on other videos. Sometimes you just have to pivot. Sometimes you just have to make the best of a bad situation and move forward. And the way I was looking at it last night when I was thinking about it, because I have had a couple little things right now that I can tell you maybe are crop failures. And nobody wants a crop failure. But it hit me last night. It's like the dirt's still there. The ground is still there. The ground is waiting on just the right thing to come up. And I just need to find the right thing to put in that ground right now. It just may not be the best thing for me to grow carrots on this property. I had good luck growing them in the wheelbarrow filled with, $12 a bag Miracle Grow. But to grow it in the ground seems like no matter how I fertilize it, carrots just don't like to grow in my soil up here. So I could pout about that, and I could worry about it, and I could just spend even more time and money trying to get these carrots to really do something. But they just don't really want to. But I know there are other things that'll thrive in my soil, and those things I'm going to focus on. So I'm pivoting, I'm changing. That's the way it is with gardening. You just have to go with it. Things want to grow. You just have to find out what wants to grow, really, at your house. So this morning, as this beautiful sun comes up, I'm going to relish it. I'm thankful to God for this land that I have and for all the blessings that I have. And it's just going to be a great day. I'll see you soon. This is Lainey at Camp Joy Farms. Let's see what we can get into today. Okay, I've already been working out here today. I just have to get going on things. I'm sorry, but I can't film everything. And I just know that the people watching this, I trust and know that you can understand what I'm saying when I tell you what I have done. I don't think I have to film every little thing to show you. These 4 rows, 1, 2, 3, and the 4th row that includes the one with my T-post on it, those 4 rows are going to have candy corn. It's called candy corn. Both of it spelled with a K, candy and corn. So it's the candy corn variety of corn. I'm going to have that on these 4 rows. It's 40-foot rows. The rows are longer, but I'm only putting 40 foot of corn on each of these rows. And what I did was I just dug a little trench kind of down this left side of the row, just off center of the middle, and I put some fertilizer down that. Then I raked the dirt just from one side of that little trench that I dug. I raked the dirt, covered the trench up. It's kind of lightly covered. I didn't rake the dirt from the other side over it too to deeply cover it because I want the rain to get to it. And then right down the middle of all these rows, I went ahead and did my holes that I do with the end of my rake. So you can see my holes there. And then what I do is I just put my little PVC pipe in the hole, and in the top of it here, I'll drop my seed and do that in each hole, down each of these rows, all 4 rows. It's a little bit slower going to do it with my PVC pipe, but I'm gonna tell you what, it saves my back, and that is starting to really matter a lot to me, especially with all of the things I have to do to help my husband. I have to save my back. If I go down, our whole family goes down. So I have to save my back work. So that's what I'm doing to plant this cornfield right here in this lower garden. I'm in my lower garden that's right by the lake in the back of my property. I'm going to plant these 4 rows of corn. I'm going to put 2 seeds in each hole because last year I did have to do a lot of replanting. Didn't have great germination on any of my cornfields. Probably my best one was the Mosby Prolific that I grew last year. It germinated the best. And I am planting that again today in my other garden that I call Richard's Garden on the other side of the beach. I'll be planting the Mosby Prolific. But right now I'm planting this candy corn, and I'm going to put 2 seeds in a hole just to kind of make sure I can cover my bases with the germination. So that's what I'm doing. I'll get going on it. One of the changes I'm going to make this year is I had planned on succession planting, so many feet of something and then coming back later and adding more feet and adding more feet. But I believe I'm just going to go for it. This row right here, this is my 3rd row in my lower garden. It's about 95 feet long, and I double planted. I plant on either side of these little humps here. So we're talking 190 feet of planted bush beans, and I'm just going to plant them all. I know that it's a very, very arduous task to harvest 190 foot of bush beans that are all coming in at one time. I know that, but my end goal with these beans is just to process them and put them in quart bags and label them and have them in my freezer. I had people, relatives of mine and different people, offer to come help me harvest, and I have a hard time asking for help, but I think since people have offered to help, I'm going to take them up on it this time and just appreciate the help and give them a heads up when my beans are coming ready and let people come up here and help me. I would rather pretty much have this row picked over a period of, say, a week and a half with them coming in and just be done with it. Do a lot of processing, put them in the freezer, and then be done with it, rather than succession plant and basically have these bush beans in my garden for a month and a half. I just think I'd rather get rid of them after a little bit if I can do it all at once. And then I will take down, say, the middle, or I might do either side depending on which cowpea I pick, and go ahead and put this row into use doing something else that I can also harvest at a later date and put in my freezer, and go ahead and plant those all at once. I think that's the point I'm going to do. It's a change I've made of thinking. My thinking process is just evolving, and I'll update my schematics, I'll update my dates, and we're just going to roll with it like that, I believe. One of the things I'm planting in my lower garden today, I've got a 15-foot row, is shanty boat beans. I've never planted these before. I got these through Clemson University, and look at there. They're a gorgeous little bean. I probably should have soaked my seeds in light of the dryness of my soil today, but I really thought it was going to be a lot more wet and moist because of all the rain that we got Tuesday. And anyway, I didn't, but it was supposed to be clear today, and then they came through and said, well, there's maybe some more popcorn showers. Some people may get some showers, and I think I see one coming right now, right at me, and I'm excited because I actually need it to come on this garden since I didn't soak my momentum bean seeds and I didn't soak these shanty bean seeds. So I hope it comes. Let me see if you can see it over my house here. I don't know if you can see the rain coming out of that cloud, but it's coming, and if it'll just blow this way, that'd be great. I would just love it. It can rain in what I just planted today, and that would be great. I won't have to run any hoses or any sprinklers. I'll do it nature's way. That's fine with me. The next thing that I'm changing my plan on is my carrot bed. It's actually 30 row feet. I had 3 different kinds of carrots here. I started, this 10 foot is the Danvers, then I had 10 foot of Corota, and then I had 10 foot of Envy carrots. The Envy probably did the best, but the Corota and the Envy only tended to grow on the right side of this bed. And they still haven't grown much. They're still just not doing what they should be doing from having been in the ground since February 6th. And I did everything I could do to get out here and keep them moist all during germination time. And they germinated well. I was so happy. And then just slowly but surely, they just keep turning brown and fizzling. I know there's probably things I could do, but right now I just have to pivot, do something else. And this is going to become a bed for my bell peppers. I was going to intersperse my bell peppers throughout my garden, but now I'm going to put a good many of them here and just kind of have a bell pepper bed, and then intersperse some others in different parts of my garden. And that's just what I have to do. You have to just think ahead and just move on, go with plan B, and I'll do carrots another time. One of my other changes, my little pivots that I decided to make, was to stop separating out my pepper plants. I had mentioned that I planted 2 per cell and that they all seemed to be germinating, so I was going to separate out the pepper plants into separate plants so that I'd have more plants. And I was even going to give them to people if they wanted them and things like that. But I was watching a video. There's a little YouTube channel called The Aberrant Gardener. I'll try to remember to put the link in my description if you want to look at her channel. But it's called The Aberrant Gardener. And she suggested to leave your plants in 2s. And when you plant them in the hole, you'll have 2 plants. So I did need to pot mine up because they were getting too big for those little cells. But when I potted them up, you can see I left 2 plants and everything. Now she said she's been doing this for years. She said that it seems that they like it better to be planted with another plant, that they kind of grab onto each other and kind of hold hands, they intertwine, and it makes the plant kind of act as one strong plant. And so I'm going to try it because I grew peppers several times just buying the transplants from the nursery. These are eggplants. And I didn't have the greatest luck. They kind of stayed small. So what have I got to lose? And it saved me from having to separate things and come up with different containers to put everything in. And they seem to be doing beautifully. They kind of like it in the cup together, I think. Look how just fantastic they look. These are peppers. I didn't even know I could do this. And I'm just so proud of how they're doing. It just gives me so much hope that if I see a variety I want to try, boom, I know how to do it now. Whereas I didn't before. I was kind of at the mercy of whatever they sold at the nursery. But these look so good. So I'm going to try it. Her name was the Aberrant Gardener. And I suggest maybe go look at her channel and see if there's anything there that interests you. Well, it didn't rain. It passed me by. It started blowing really, really hard. I could just feel the moisture. And then it started getting really cold. And it was kind of weird. So I came on inside. It actually blew my swing over. It blew my tennis shoes off the front porch. It just kind of started having a lot of wind, and which was kind of weird because we've had a beautiful day today. But I don't put anything past some of these clouds that we've been getting lately and the weirdness of the weather. So I came on inside, and I was kind of expecting a wall of rain to hit our house at some point. Well, nothing ever happened. So I'm going to have to take care of my own watering of my garden because I think tomorrow is supposed to be clear and pretty. So I just wanted to kind of share this with you, with the changes that I'm going to make in the garden. With my carrots, that situation, with these pepper plants, I think it'll work out great. I think it's going to do great. And then with the way I'm going to decide to grow things and give up the succession planning kind of element of things and just go for it, put in some late nights processing and doing things in a way that I only have to do them once, maybe over a couple of days, and maybe over a week, I guess you would say, because the bush beans usually take about a week to maybe a week and a couple of days to put out all that they're going to put out. So I think I would rather just deal with it, just have some really rough days rather than succession plant and have them going on and on and on for a month. And I think, succession planting is smart. And if I was trying to just do this completely by myself, it's the smartest way to do it is to succession plant. But I have had offers of help to come help me harvest. People have been really good. So I'm just going to try that route. I'm just going to plant it all at once and get them processed and in the freezer in a quick order. And then that way I can put something else in the ground and move on. So it's always good to make choices. It's always good to have options. It's always good to have a backup plan, to not be scared to let go of one thing and go another direction. That's how you learn. That's just how you grow. I'll do more carrots. I'm not scared of carrots. I just don't think they love my soil. And maybe there's soil test I can have done. I can get all kind of analysis done, but it's not happening right now. It'll have to happen before the next big gardening season next year. Right now, I just have to pivot, do what I got to do, and move on. And what I'm going to do is just plant some bell peppers there and use that space in as best way as I can and produce something out of that row, make that row worth it. So this is Lainey from Camp Joy Farms. Thank you for joining me today for these just different little segments of what's going on. It's planting season. It's planting season. It's time to get things in the ground. Trying my best. I've got my computer over here, and every time I plant a section, I'm kind of highlighting it. And there's a lot to go. I'm proud of what I did get done today. Got my corn done. Got a 95-foot row, double row planted of momentum beans. I even went back and planted some Perkins long green okra down the middle of that row. The okra can grow up in the middle. It won't affect the bush beans, but it'll give me a lot of productivity for that row. When I interviewed Coach London the other day, he said he liked the Perkins okra, so I had some seeds. So I thought, I'm going to do that in the middle of that row and grow some of that Perkins okra. So anyway, hopefully it'll come up. Hopefully I'll get some product off of that. It's just an ongoing thing. As it evolves, I'll be glad to show you everything I'm doing. And I want to hear about what you're doing too. What are you growing? What's working for you? What's the weather like where you live? Just talk to me and share. And together we'll get through all this gardening things and we'll answer each other's questions and help each other out. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. You have a great day.